Orí canal ó ti ẹ̀dá. Ó lọ ní.
It's over 2 meters. Wide, I mean, wide is about 3.5. Hydraulic. Yeah, go the problem. Except there is a blockage. Me, there will be blockage there. What if my dad is flag or possible block? Yeah, you can. Yep.
pé àwọn ló ń ṣe o àwọn onílé àwọn ọmọ ìlú wọn ṣe.
Uramo is this way now. They collect this from around this area, Gbogbo street. All these streets around here, they will empty into this one. If you take it to the Uramo water. All are joining street race. And we empty into this one. That's why it is called collection race.
Guy in a way to everyone in my leverage that's the ilẹ̀. Then enforcement, human enforcement is very necessary. So if we do that here and then do that side, that even if they pass through this, they cannot get it to the gutter with the waste. So that once we do that, then we can through all the inlets so that there won't be any funding here. Let's do this first with the fence, with this inner side. Yes. Then we have to clear all of here. Because this one will end up coming in here. We are going to rehabilitate the first then we must rehabilitate the other end. This one, so we are putting work there. So that this one will solve the work that
àwọn tó ń kólẹ̀ yìí gangan ní problem àwọn tó bá yìí.
The solution to this is very, very simple. First of all, one, this situation was caused by indiscriminate dumping of refuse. You can see the drainage channel here has been taken over by refuse. These will be evacuated. An abatement embankment will be done here in concrete, and then the inlets will be through straight into the drains, so that at least this ponding here will not be there again. By God's grace, in the next 3-4 weeks, we will resolve this problem. The solution is put an embankment here to prevent people from dumping refuse in the gutters, put the metal railings, and then through all the inlets from this place. That is the lowest point. That's why you have a lot of the water collecting there. And if you move further down, you see the inlets already done by the builders of this road when it was constructed. So those will be through and everything will be in good shape. By God's grace, 3 to 4 weeks, this should be sorted out. And then we'll have some respite here. Thank you. That is the inlet. Those are one of the inlets. The water naturally goes here. It doesn't go anywhere. That's the inlet. Initially, the thing was on the floor here. Pushed the thing. Then we now seize the opportunity to clean this thing all the way. I'm sure. We can even make a shot, the median, the median. I work out
Partially, yes.
It wouldn't be as bad as but you can still move further before you touch any building here. Like if he's going to do it, go move. Maybe go back to Shilamo or what will matter of what you narrow.
Okay. And we have another small problem there, which
level yẹn ta ó wà deep but àwọn ti kọjá level yẹn lọ sí ọ̀nà wájú wọn jẹ́ kó deep wọn so it just a surface tó bá pé wọ́n jẹ́ kó deep bí tí ń sọ fún wọn with my own experience because I'm the owner of this place bí tí ń sọ fún wọn nípa pé kí wọ́n mú kó mbẹ́ kí wọ́n jẹ́ kó deep ní grade tó wá báyìí so ẹjẹ́ kára dé bẹ̀rẹ̀ sá ẹni pé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí omi yẹn ń push wá báyìí kò lè lọ já sí kànáà yẹn lọ́wọ́ èrè tí
jíjì kan ló ń pa ní.
gbogbo all this ìdọ̀tí wọn ìta nígbà wọn kọ́ ti ń jẹ látàn wọn láti sọ ó kàn ní ìpèlè wọn lẹ́yìn wọn ní ìpèsè ó wọ́n láti lọ sí mú wọ́n ti àwọn kan ti ní kànáà yẹn wọ́n ti ń wu ló ń gbọ́dọ̀ fi fílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú láìlọ́n wọ́n fi fílẹ̀ láti ìlànà wọ́n ti ń wu síta àwọn fóònù yẹn ní ló ń lè fòkàn pẹ̀lú kó bóyá fún industry wà náà but wọ́n ti fi fílẹ̀ àwọn ilẹ̀ yẹn tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ so ó ti di kan wọ́n ti ń ṣe ìgbà pa mẹ́rin láìlọ́n àwọn boys tó máa ń ṣe láìlọ́n yẹn náà kọ́kọ́ wá ṣàgbọ́ ẹ̀ bá rí ẹ́bí láìlá tí wọ́n ti fọ̀ wọ́n tó ti kó àwọn láìlọ́n yẹn lọ ní ìkòkè bọ̀ fóònù ìgbà tó wà níbi wọ́n yà ń ṣe ẹ̀rí omi ẹ̀sà láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó wá padà wá fóònù gbà kan tó ń bọ̀ láti ọ̀dọ̀ èyí ti fi fóònù wọ́n ní outside ní ibẹ̀ yẹn and then this place ó jìnà gan ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀wò ní gbogbo ìbàyẹ̀ ìjà ìrà láti di fẹ́ǹsì wọn tó jẹ́ kìlọ̀kọ̀ ìrà ní tẹ́tẹ̀lẹ̀ èmi ni mo fílẹ̀ títí dé.
ẹ̀ ń dákún problem yẹn nítorí gbogbo ń tẹ́ fún fún yẹn.
náà kí ni sọ́mà wú gbogbo lè ibi tí agbára mi wọ́n dé.
mọ́tò scrap yẹn ló kù.
onílẹ̀ tó ti nílẹ̀ tó ta fún everybody sí irú gbogbo ẹ̀rí tó ìṣàmọ̀ ìfàkùnàtì àwọn náà ti fílẹ̀ pé kí bọ́lá fún ẹ̀rí kí a máa rà wọ́n gbà táwa rí pé kí níyẹn pàmì kò lè jẹ́ kó ṣe àtẹ̀wàrà fún gbogbo ẹ̀ láti sọ̀dáṣì ẹ̀ kí ní ìsinmi.
lórí ilẹ̀ yẹn lẹ́yìn direct sí ìjọ̀gbọ̀n sí ní létà.
no létà tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ ṣe bá níta àtẹ̀ lè jẹ́ pé kéèyàn rìn.
ẹ wo tí yẹn ń tú jáde lẹ́sẹ̀ rí pé lẹ́ẹ̀lẹ́ni. so now tí mi fẹ́ sọ fún yín ni pé ọ̀tún máa ń wò sí máa ń wò.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ẹ̀yin náà kẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ organize pé nígbà tá a rí i pé wọ́n ń ṣe kíní yìí ó kù díẹ̀ ká gbàdúrà táwa ṣe rèé.
náà wọ́n ti sọ pé tí wọ́n bá ti fílẹ̀ sí what the no nísìnyí because we had a meeting at the general estate what we want to do is that after the important purpose in case after she covered so that pé bóyá fún wall fence sí ibẹ̀ so that a kò lè máa balọ̀ láti já sí and that is before consolation and that is the generality of the
what can even be done sanctions yes nínú fence lè tó ń bọ̀ kini alignment subject affection maybe if it takes that one trace here this way then around this area too another one will be done one then the inlets but if dredger is coming in only between Emangba or normally so that if that happens they will not be able to put more refugees in here now njẹ́ o lè máa meet ẹ̀yin landlord àti ẹ̀yin total
that's every last Saturday of the year.
Month. Later on.
10. No.
Last Saturday. Edition last week.
Yeah.
I will do your last.
No. I did say last week. So
I'm looking at brokering a meeting so that you can somebody from the unit come and explain to them at that meeting. Kẹ́yìn náà mo pàtí ìjọba ń fún un tẹ́ tá a ṣe yóò ń ṣòwò kékeré ìyẹn mo ṣe ń wẹnu yín gbàgbé ní ojú ìlú kan kò jí níbì kan ń tẹ́yìn náà máa ṣe nínú ẹ̀ torí ẹ̀yìn gan ni ìyá.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwa gan la ní problem ẹ̀ because the federal side náà kò sẹ́ni bọ̀dì tí ò lè jáde ní even because they through the other canal ló jẹ́ káà náà tẹ́ bá ń bọ̀ láti United States ní ìṣẹ́fúwáì during the time of rain season nobody ẹ̀ máa ká kí ló pẹ́ ni ẹ̀ máa káṣọ ni so àwọn boys náà ń ṣe bíi káàtù mẹ́rin tẹ́ bá fẹ́ káṣọ àwọn náà máa ní bíi pé ní kọ́mọ máa fi gbé yín síta.
From that road, cut across this, but we have a very high level because it's going to be very expensive. And this one will just.
If you are going to cut across this thing,
because what is happening?
No matter how much this thing consolidates, it will collapse. The height of that thing, it will cave in. Come on, move machine and money, baby. Except if it is done so wide and then it's protected on both sides.
So
why must we cut through here?
Because
where is this one coming from?
No, this one is going to meet Odialaro, yes, the one coming from Bagada.
This one is going to Trem. It's going to cross.
No, it's not going to Trem. The one link Trem finally.
Before going to pass under the deck on fire.
Yes. There are 3 alignments. This is the first one. The one near California is the other one. And Trem. Where it is directly so we have, because at that point yeah, it's just
comes over 6 inches. If you have
by then we should have water here. So it will not be that bad anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's not. We have not solved it absolutely.
Okay, now what is the final solution?
The final solution is to at least reconstruct this one, go to the normal alignment.
Cut across this thing.
Not here, not here. Somewhere off further, upstream.
Yes.
To go there and allow this one to discharge independently, so that they don't really, because I can foresee a problem. That's why we are not going too deep here. But once this one fills up, back close, definitely. And they shouldn't be messing around. But that is,
so Charlie Boy links this.
Yes, at that point somewhere.
Yes. So it comes from there.
Yes.
But it should flow this way, no?
It flows this way.
Yes.
It flows this way.
Coming from
the express, where the dredger is. Just Aguileba and started the collector there. There's the main collector. That's what I'm doing. That's the shortest distance you can get. We hope that that this thing, please. And I thought it's about 250 meters.
How many capacitor taxis and units?
Each one of them is about 1.2.
long for 200. Yeah. And that's about that's only 150. How much?
Well, we estimated it to be about, that's one was content about 7 to 11.
So expensive. Let's say that. Now let's look at the cost of excavation. Cost of
No, and the final analysis.
The compressor la máa fi sí o. Wọ́n ti excavate la máa fi sí.
wọ́n ti ṣe
Or we can reduce the size. What we need is something like a dish. I don't know.
how do we now bring this in?
Just something like this.
If you have inlet, then the thing must go below this road.
Maybe about, yes.
Go below this road. Yeah.
No, I'd say point of inlet, yes. But not necessarily, but the other end you should.
No, it must go below because why? You must bring inlet. That inlet.
That's the point of entry.
Thank you. You must know that it must be lower than below. That's what.
Yeah, that's what
Owó abẹ́rẹ́ ọdún abẹ́rẹ́ látàdé tó rí àwọn ẹ̀rọ
ẹgbẹ́ lè tún ṣí kó tún dàrú ni.
go up the stress. That's why all these areas, once this have a look, they may not have to put too much around here. They will concentrate at
Then this will dislodge
everything.
all the things from there. But then that road has to be redone.
And
Raised back.
roads will come back and do it. Even
Raised.
And we even expect rain dogs to clean the whole of Market Street. And so all these areas.
Now appoint someone from your department or 2 people and put law green dogs and 2 of them. Let them do a kind of a program. To drain dogs in. Let them do a kind of a program. So that for this way I want work on my dictate in everything. Let them
Sir, we have just gone through all the flooded areas. We would now like to know from you, sir, what is the government and what is the government going to do to the concerned areas?
Well, first and first, I have to thank you for coming with us for the inspection tour, and at the same time to let you know that from the press conference held earlier in the week, the state government is being battle ready, made adequate efforts and arrangements towards the flooding, the very critical areas. I must also add very quickly here that the issue of resolving the flood problem in Lagos is not something that will be done within the short space of 1 year. The budget estimate for removing such or solving the problem of Lagos flooding to a very considerable level is about 3 billion naira, precisely 2.93 billion, and that is just scratching it on the surface. Now what we are doing now is to attack the very critical areas. I'm providing about 300 million to do that at various levels, and it is touching 19 areas, and those 19 areas we just visited about 4 or 5 of them today. We've been visiting them without you accompanying us. So by God's grace, in the next few weeks the contractors will be taking possession of sites and tackling the problems as it were.
In the case of the vegetarian area, we discovered there are some market areas. What is going to happen to that?
Are you referring to the Oyinbo market?
Yes.
Well, if I don't know how long you've been in Lagos, Market Street used to be a very, very popular street along that axis. Several years ago, a new market was to be developed, the new Oyinbo market. The piling works were done, the foundation piles were driven long several years ago, ready for the construction of the main market. Somehow, maybe funding problems, for some problems, the project didn't take off, and people's stalls and shops were demolished to make way for the new market. So people took to the streets, market stalls took over the whole roads. By so doing, they blocked all the drains with refuse, with wastes and all what have you, with feces and what have you. And before you could say Jack Robinson, the whole place was silted up, and then floods took over the roads. And you found out that market road, the road has collapsed at some point, and people still went ahead. That is to show how careless, how insensitive people could get. They started building timber bridges or walkways on top of these roads. Several of such bridges had collapsed. They just built the ones we saw today. So what we are trying to do now, we have traced the invert of the drains. There's one collector to one side of the road, and there's another tertiary to the other side. Even those that sell rams, there are live goats there. All the grass and what have you fall into these gutters. So what we're doing is we're going to clean up that area, and then we'll call the Ministry of Works to come and resurface the roads, and one way or the other relocate those people whose stalls you saw on the roads onto that market site. Even if it's not constructed yet, let them use the market site with open stalls, so that at least you take them off the roads and people could drive. The other problem that we have around there is over congestion of spare parts dealers, motorcycle dealers, traders of all sorts, aside from grocery, also in auto and all sorts of businesses around there. Because of the proliferation of people and wares and abandoned wares that were not sold, a lot of these things end up in the drains. So we're trying our best. We went on reconnaissance today, saw everything, and we're going to clear them at that space. We're going to clear them in a matter of weeks. Contractors will take over the sites. By next week, they are going to State Tenders Board, and we are in the process of appraising the tenders received. And once you appraise the tenders received, the next thing is for Tenders Board to consider an award. State Tenders Board is the only authority that awards those contracts after thorough scrutiny. Once the contracts are awarded, contractors they've given us the awards. Those of them that were invited, with selective tendering, so to speak. Those of them that were invited, we're going to take possession of site even before they get any mobilization, because the rains are here already. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Before the mobilization, before the paperwork and all the bureaucratic what have you for the payments is effective, we move to site immediately. They've given us the awards. That was why we went looking at everything, checking, trying to cross the T's and dot the I's, be sure of what the scope and extent of what is supposed to be. Thank you.
Thanks.
How are you, sir? Dr. Kanye. Santos. Bad. Any life,
Please sit down and make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
Letter last night.
I was told, that's the letter. Hey.
welcome your delegation to Lagos State, and I want to express my demand in light of this government that at least the federal ministry is responding to our hearing call. First of all, let me hasten to say that we all know the problems of Lagos State. It is the golden goose which is the economic nerve center of this country. It's the golden goose that is, laying the eggs for everybody. But in the process, we must not kill that goose. And Lagos is being pillaged, bombarded with all sorts of problems by the upsurge of population in commercial activities, in exploration activities, and what have you. Now, boys village in Lagos, people build everywhere because people just cannot believe that once there is enough, that there is no more space to build, they must move out to the satellite towns. Everybody wants to build. Then we have the water hyacinth problem, we have the shipwreck problem, we have the problem of petroleum product seepage. This, I can assure you, is not caused by any vandalization of the pipeline. This, I think, was a problem of the cage of the pipeline, and it's been sitting and sitting. For 5 years now, the people of Baruwa village have been drawing petrol from their wells. They're there, we sent to photographs, the report is also there. We have reports upon reports ready for you to take a look at. We also have several problems in Lagos State. We have the problem of the college capital. I'm trying to kind of widen the terms of reference of this photo. In as much as we have a lot of environmental problems, municipal solid waste also, so we have a lot of real actors of it taking you to some of these sites. But I expected that we were expecting, because this would have started 2 days ago. We were there for you for Tuesday. We said, okay, it's going to be Wednesday again. Wednesday, we got another message that it will be today. It's choked and packed. So we have to decide on the modalities, what and what are the areas. We will show you the very gory ones, so that at least we can follow up with actual and proper documentation of all the others. But before I go further, let us know who and who are talking to each other. Anibaba is my name, Ayode is my first name. I'm a Commissioner for Environment, Lagos State. With me is Engineer W. Akenyo, Chairman of Technical Government, one of the... We're not expecting him again because of the intention to leave 3 o'clock tomorrow. This is a kind of it's a riverine community around my 12 there. And there was also a shipwreck there. I call it the boat wreck. There was a boat wreck there. There was also a collapse of the pedestrian bridge that was built across that small river where it aborts and it comes into Lagos. So the community is kind of isolated now. So we'll take a look at the place, look at what they have, and then make recommendations. This, I believe, this ministry wants to believe, this government wants to believe, that at the end of your visitation, you would see the enormous problems we have in Lagos State. And further, make a case on your own federal government, the House of Assembly, and to the ecological fund office. Because, like I said, I am broadening, this ministry is broadening your terms of reference from just environmental problems to ecological problems too. Thank you so very much. The leader of the team, kindly introduce your name.
Because of the pressure I put on the Environment Ministry on the problems in Lagos, the Speaker directed the Chairman, House Committee on Environment, that there should be a delegation. That's supposed to be 2. The other person will be joining us. My humble self, Honorable Dr. Lekene, I represent your federal constituency. And since I'm the only one, I can say I represent the
Thank you, Honorable. Again, I bring greetings from the Minister of Environment, Ambassador Dr. Adnan Adamawa. As soon as a report was made from the National Assembly, pushed strongly by Honorable Dr. Kende. The minister said that Lagos State is so important that we cannot sleep 1 minute until this problem is solved. He does not want a repeat of Jesse. He does not want a repeat of Muslim. Then another one in Ibadan. Recently, somewhere between in Abia State, another one. So he didn't want a repeat. So he took this off immediately and sent this powerful delegation. And when he was also intimated with the problem of erosion due to the abandoned ship, he said this must be looked at too. So he has mandated us to investigate the Atlas Cove, this one in Ojo local government, and Olometa, and the contamination of water. I think my department is quite familiar with this story, and we had been pursuing it really to see what we can do to get the owners of this property respond. But with its push now, it become a priority program, and we are taking on this strongly, and I hope that we will have the opportunity to debrief you at the end of this trip. What I will request for is, I don't know whether this is the forum, or maybe when we meet with your permanent secretary to develop the program such that we can maximize the period available to us. We intend to return by 3 o'clock tomorrow. So, yes, we hope that we'll be able to achieve this. Thank you very much.
Well, just joining us is Dr. Kumbo, I did the GM last year. And we have here a itinerary. Back to this. So I think the important thing is to start to live without meeting His Excellency, right? And we should give that. Because by the time you come, at least just like an exit interview or a proxy call, we will show some dump sites now. We don't have any landfill in this city. What we have is our dump sites, and you know it's not healthy for the aquifer. So what we have done there, one is for accessibility, because what waste disposal is all about is time management, turnaround time. And we found out over the years that during the rainy season, because of the terrain, very muddy, it's quite difficult to dispose. What we have done is to provide very, very, very sound access. It's been done by Julius Badia. It's cost us over ₦500 million. We are doing that to 2 of our dump sites. One at Solus. The Solus one, if you happen to pass through the Aburu and Alimosho area, Baruwa village, you might just spend about 10-15 minutes to just take a look at what the amount of work, the tremendous amount of work being done there. Delicious in here you will see on the way out, actually driving, or you can take a look from the highway and look at that. So that will be the first port of call. Then we detour to Baruwa.
From the Honorable Commissioner for Environment. We are very delighted that this powerful delegation has been raised from Abuja to come to Lagos, and thanks very much to Honorable Kende for the yeoman's job that he has done, all the efforts that have been made. We are quite appreciative of it, and we hope that this will give us the respite that we're looking for in the state. I am sure we are all aware of the fact that Lagos State is a state that has some peculiarities. All the factors that have to do with the environment you will find here in Lagos State. We have the land environment, we have the marine environment, we have the air environment here in Lagos State, as opposed to Kaduna State or Gombe State or Benue State for that matter. Therefore, the peculiarities that we have here are the things that have put us on our toes, and we hope that with the help of a team like this from the federal, a lot of attention will be drawn to some of the environmental problems that we are faced with. Maybe it's necessary to remind the team that Lagos State is bearing the pollution load of industries in Nigeria, because 60 to 70% of the industrial setup in this country reside here in Lagos State. And therefore, the pollution load of the industries in Nigeria reside here with us in Lagos State. So we have quite a great deal of environmental problems that we are faced with, and we hope that with the help that we're going to solicit from the federal, we'll be able to quickly pay attention to some of these problems and find remediation solutions to some of them, because some of them are things that have been there in the past, and they will be there, and some may likely increase, because the number of industries in the state will likely increase if the economy improves in the state. Therefore, we have these problems, and it is good that a team like this will be able to have a first-hand opportunity of seeing some of these problems, and then we're crying out to Macedonia to help us. The federal might is the federal might, and it is from the federal might that we derive some of the powers of Lagos State. So please, gentlemen, we hope that you will have a fair mind in assessing some of the problems that we're going to show you, and then we also hope that with the sincerity of purpose with which you have started, you'll be able to make some good recommendation for some of these problems that beset us. However, let us not talk too much, let us have a hands-on, and with the hands-on, I think the story will be told by itself. The first port of call that we're going to is the Alimosho landfill site, and thereafter we'll head on to Baruwa and Baruwa village, where there is a tremendous amount of environmental damage that has been done over the years due to the carelessness of the NMDC. Because we have to say it like it is. They have been extremely careless in not monitoring the integrity of the pipeline. They would say in the past that it was vandalization, but this is due to lack of monitoring of the integrity of the pipeline. There has been underground seepage into the aquifer, such that people who live 1 mile away from where the oil pipeline is and have wells in their homes, their wells have been absolutely contaminated. We have samples that, in fact, you will get to the site and you will take samples yourself. Even now, we have closed over 150 wells in that area, because the wells are the only source of water for these people, and yet when they get there in the morning to fetch water, it is PMS they're going to bring out. It's a big disaster, and we're lucky there has not been any fire outbreak as a result of this. It is simply because we have had very close monitoring of the area, and from my agency, our staff that go around the monitoring, some of them are going to follow us, and they will show us specific locations where these disasters have been noticed in the last 3 years. We have had various correspondence with the NNPC, and it's like there's a lackadaisical attitude somewhere, and nobody seems to be doing anything until we threaten to close down the depot in Ejibo before they set up a committee to come and meet with us. And that has been almost 2 months now, and since then we haven't heard anything from NNPC. We are hopefully going to raise some more hell for them in the next few weeks, so at least something will happen, because people there one, have been denied the access to the water they're supposed to be drinking. There's no other source of water to them. Two, NNPC the government is suffering a great loss because of the seepage. And somebody somewhere should care about this. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any action coming out positively in this direction. Maybe with the team that is coming from Abuja now, a lot of public outcry will come, and then somebody will start to pay attention to what is going on there. We will also go to Ojo local government, where illegal sand dredging has been taking place, and the reason why this has happened.
We deleted that.
Yes, they have.
No, we have.
Oh, you have this study?
No.
There is this overlap between the authority of the state and authority of federal, and people take advantage of this. They will run away from here and go to Abuja to go and seek a license to operate in certain place, because there is something that says the jurisdiction is federal jurisdiction. However, it is the locality that suffers. So something has to be done whereby the locality must be able to stop whatever is going to degrade its environment, even if the person has gotten a license to operate in that area from Abuja. Abuja cannot monitor responsibility to monitor it. So it is important for this team to visit the place and have a hands-on experience of what it is for people to exploit the overlap of authority in certain areas, and that happens in so many places. We have picked this because it's a near disaster thing that is going on there. So at least once you have a look at it, we've tried to stop the persons operating there, and they have refused to heed our warning. Short of going there with the task force, with the police to molest them, which we don't want to do, because this is a democratic setting, we need to respect the rule of law. So that is the only reason why we have not been able to go there to go and enforce the law that says they should stop dredging there, because they are causing environmental degradation to that environment in the state. So we'll try and hurriedly get through to the place, so you have a look at it, have some words with the persons who are operating there. So at least you will get an information that you require, and when we get to Abuja, we'll be able to sort some of these things out. And that perhaps will end our trip for today. We have some more places to visit, but we have to compress this program like the Honorable Commissioner said. But tomorrow, we won't have Atlas Cove on your program, but we're including it because you already mentioned it. Atlas Cove is also an economic disaster for the federal government. It is an ecological disaster for the state. We will have to visit there to be able to have a hands-on experience of what is going on in Atlas Cove. Somebody somewhere is also being responsible for the way operation is carried out there. And the government is suffering tremendous loss, the environment is suffering tremendous damage. So these things are things that we need to highlight and pay attention to. If we leave Atlas Cove early, we also would like to go to the Ikorodu axis. In Ikorodu, we have two major problems there. One is the erosion that is going on at Ibeshe, Ijede, and Alimosho. It's on record with the Federal Ministry of Works. The attention has been drawn to it since about 2 years. In fact, last year there was approval under ecological funds for this particular erosion work that is going on. There's also Egbe in that same axis, but because of time constraint, we may not be able to visit Egbe. Egbe on its own is another ecological problem for the state. The thermal station in Egbe, they've been in operation in the past 20 years. A lot of ecological damage has been done in that area because of the kind of operation that is going on there, and it needs attention. Unfortunately, the authorities in charge have not even done any post-impact assessment studies for Egbe since they started almost 20 years ago. So these are some of the things that we're going to do. We have picked on a site, Nikemtex, to highlight the problem of environmental damage done by industrial activities in the state. The river behind Nikemtex in Ikorodu, Nikemtex is a textile mill. That river is dead. It's a dead river, just like the dead Kaduna River. And the people in that area have lost their means of livelihood. They have lost their source of wash water, drink water, as the case may be, because people live upstream and downstream that river Ibeshe. So we would like to visit there because we are recommending that a bioremediation work be done on that Ibeshe river, and we would like to solicit funds from the ecological funds from the federal. That is the reason why we would like to take the team to Ibeshe, so that they will see what ecological damage has been done due to industrial activities of the Chemtex textile mills. We on our part, we have stopped the Chemtex from continuing to do business as usual. They have been forced to build a pre-discharge treatment plant, which is in operation at this point. We are still not fully satisfied, and we have given them 3 months moratorium period within which they are supposed to improve on what they have done. And many of the textile industries are also being advised to follow suit. Many have started building some pre-discharge treatment plants in the state. We just hope that they will continue to do that, because Azo dye has done so much damage to our riverine areas, and we need to stop that. So we'll be visiting the Chemtex tomorrow, God willing. And then at the end of that visit, we'll pay a courtesy call to the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his office. It will be a good gesture on your part to at least visit the Executive Governor and let him know some of the things that you have found out during your trip here, and perhaps make some promises, if you can.
To take a very positive look at the provisions and the fate of the 352. We all know its import. Investing in the federal government 100 meters from the coastline, all over the country. Federal government. And what the federal government had been doing, especially in Lagos State, because of the prime nature of property in Lagos State, the federal government had been they even went ahead sand filling. And on the one hand they were sand filling, on the other they allowed the company to be dredging. That becomes the balance. And most waterways in Lagos are multi-directional. That is, they balance each other during the high tide. A lot of these waterways dredged so much, depleting the landmass here and foraging into the waterways here the other way. So what we are looking at, what I'm talking about is the fate of the two has been abrogated now. So I know you are from the federal side, but you are a Nigerian for starters. Let us take a very cursory and dispassionate look at what the 352 has done to Lagos since its enactment. Thank you so very much. So we should
just to make a request. The way I've seen this program, I'm not too familiar with the proximity or the congruity or how the access to these sites are. Perhaps we will need a pilot car to facilitate movement. Coming from Abuja, perhaps we wouldn't need it. But in Lagos, maybe.
Let me quickly introduce to you the honorable
for disposal of collected domestic waste in the state. If you are familiar with this place, a few months ago, this was not a place we could stand here and talk. It is because since the administration came in, the problem of waste was a major problem that needed immediate attention, and the administration gave it the full attention that it deserved. Because they are aware of the fact that federal government is taking care of all the what the administration has commenced on, so that we get a feedback to the federal government that there is a lot of work that needs to be done. We want to have a sanitary land process. This is not a sanitary land process. It's just a dump site. You know the kind of policy and the strategies to also achieve this policy based again on the kind of economy and technology that we have. There's provision for this kind of arrangements, albeit not willingly, but we think this is a stopgap measure. And I must say this is really making the best out of the bad situation.
That's correct.
If this whole area is secured in terms of the wall, the whole area is part of the project, and you will see the commenced walling from certain area there. Those are new walls that have been built there.
Yeah.
And it will be an all-round walling of the area. I don't know what the project program in the areas around here. The laboratory at Masepa has been doing that for the past 6 months or so, and the results have been things that were transferred on to necessary agencies to make them understand. What kind of security are you looking for? In the past, we used to have a problem of scavengers, but today, with this work going on, you see there are no scavengers here at this point. So there is some form of security to ward off the invasion of the place by scavengers. In the past, you would find they are all at work. They would be all over the place. So your gate should be manned 24 hours. This is a tremendous improvement over what we saw. Then the odor. What are you doing about the odor? Well, for now, you know, it is natural biodegradation that we're maybe when activity picks up and the composting work starts, we'll begin to look at the deodorization of. We've been lucky there's no rain yet. Maybe when the rain comes, then we won't be able to stand here for more than 5 minutes. But there are ways to avoid that.
The trailer, he loads oil from that point. That's a pipe. There's an NMPC pipe that runs. The rest of the pipeline. Yes, they have built a backside from that end. That's what most people have built. not curtail the major buildings, erecting this town and everything.
Okay, so we don't know what's inside here.
Pump.
Is this pump? A pump substation, booster
station.
Because after that incident, this was built up.
Because after that major spill, the tankers had to come here to lift oil. According to their houses in the rest.
All true. Yes. In which direction is the right of way?
This way.
It's going this way. This is the pipeline in front of that school now. As they go into the pipe.
This is supposed to protect his right of way.
It's supposed to.
They have not. Prevent people from encroaching. They have not done.
They have not done that at all.
You come to my land, we are going to beat you.
That's a soft thinking.
All the wells in the area have cameras here.
Yes. All of them.
Our delegates, okay. There you go.
What's the depth of this one?
It's about 130.
What does it?
LTV to me. So am I share any pẹ̀lú NTA? Chegbo NTA needs
This one is
Tabakari, please ensure that NTA gets a copy of this thing.
You can smell.
Yes.
We have actually when you can smell from there. When it comes
you have to buy water tankers and things like that.
Number 2.
Although we already took classroom for one to go. Please. Where is the equipment? Where is it? And nobody is doing anything about this. 2 years now.
That's all you get.
It has extended down.
Can you see?
This appears to me 100%. Can you bring one sheet of paper?
I wanted to teach you.
There's no drop of water. 100%. And you say this is 130 feet?
Yes, 150.
The value of the area is
That's the valley of the area.
Had the conflict, brought to our notice, and the Federal Minister of Environment has sent us, the directors here, to come and see with our eyes and feel it. And we can see that what you have here is petrol stored underground for you.
Solicited
that is a gunpowder. Gunpowder.
And what we do not want is a repetition of this thing.
That's exactly what we're saying.
Of Bekuba, of Ibadan, of somewhere in Abia State. Because what you are storing here, if once you open this, you can see the vapor, you can smell it. So please, I don't know what you do in the evening. Don't bring...
No, all the residents have been told.
Let me say to you that the people of this area are so apprehensive that for the past 2 years they have had to live with this.
We remove the pumping
They have
machine.
had to live with this. They have had
We're
to
using this because of the normal tests people come to take. Every well has been abandoned.
Yes.
The pumping machine removed so that it's not used. That there is none. There are some areas that may be by regular pumping. They can still use the water to flush. We don't doubt that. But further in, where it's not as concentrated as
How many feet are you from the median of that pipeline?
That's about
where the pipeline
that's where you park.
So that's about
From here is 60 meters. Even from my own house, it's almost about 110.
200 meters from his house. From here it's about,
and even more than that.
like this.
Though my own, the devil is the great level is not at this.
Not at 100%.
Not at 100%.
so where we have 100 contents, where it's totally abandoned.
Yes, everybody will have to.
And it's not used. But the further you go, the less the concentration. And because it's less in concentration, people pump it to do some other cleaning. There's no way I can use it.
We have been suffering from water, particularly since 1995. We are buying water tanker. People who can afford to buy water tanker. But people who cannot afford to buy water tanker, they go and pay water, which they say at least they sell 2 naira, 15 naira at times, especially when there's no light. When they use generator, they sell it pay for us 5 naira. But in my own case, I buy tanker water every week, 1,200, 1,500. It depends upon the area where they get the water from.
You can see nobody has come into this place. So the people have been extremely cooperative. It is for the government to be able to show some level of concern and give them some reprieve, because people don't have any other source of drinking water apart from the wells that they dig in the area. And every well they have dug, all they need is PMS.
100%. Let me also add, because I represent the executive. In fact, I want to tell you today that this visit is made possible because of my letter, both to the House, to the Chairman, Committee on Environment in the House, and also my personal approach to the Minister. Because I saw this, I think there was a protest on the television. But before that, the Honorable Commissioner, Lagos State, Minister of Environment and Physical Planning, gave me a write-up. And I had already written a letter to the Honorable Minister, but unfortunately the Cabinet Minister was not around. So when he came, I approached him, and that made this visit possible. I want to assure you that this is the beginning of the solution. I will make sure I pressurize, together with members of my committee, the executive, to make sure they do something about it.
Thank you very much.
For that. You want to take from other world
that we people were suffering for long now. Look, buying water every day, you know, everybody knows without water you cannot live. You cannot cook, you cannot bath, we cannot drink. All sorts of things now, all the little resources we are having, we are using it to buy water. In my own case now, in actual fact, I'm very, very tired of buying water.
We will do something to relieve you of this work very, very soon.
Vale, on behalf of the government of Lagos State, I'm the General Manager of Lagos State Environment Protection Agency. We would like to thank the members of the community for having been law-abiding and being patient enough. We have had all your outcry, and you know that we come here from time to time with our team. We promise you that we have started this process and we will not stop until we get a final solution to this problem. That is a promise from the Lagos State government, and you can pass that on to the people of Baruwa community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
What are we doing again?
Okay, right. At the beginning,
SPMS that we have in this area, but that report will be forwarded to you as soon as it's completed by Engineer Shiode that is standing here by the way.
Actually, you know, as part of our process, as we conclude this, part of our conclusions will be you will come to Abuja and find a concerted approach to solving this problem. So
I'm sorry, sir, before you go. Apart from that map survey we submitted, you see, some people have come again. This water has spread to their own area as well. Just about 2 weeks ago, they are reporting to me. So you can see.
With the report of those areas, new areas, so that we'll include that in the in terms of reference of the consultant who is working. Minister of Environment, Professor Folabi. The Honorable Chairman of the Local Government Area
And that man here, Dr. Dada. And okay, you have the sample here. Mati. This is 97% of octane ratio. You just put it in your car, kick it, and it goes. That's what I want you to do.
It's all really bad. Go for a pure where
This is a person still. This one is from.
can see more samples there.
That this is 97% octane ratio. This one. You just put it in your car, and that also goes. It can 6, 8.
He is an asset to the people of this local government.
Thank you very much.
The first day they noticed the problem, he went straight to the Honorable Commissioner for Works, who got me out of my bed and said they have a problem in Alimosho local government. Immediately I sent Mrs. Yaya and Mrs. Sudu to come across to the area to come and take samples. They also took samples at that same time, and we started to raise hell then on. NMPC has visited him here. They have also gone to this. We cannot stop anybody who feels that his right has been trespassed upon. So they have a right to pursue it legally. But here you have Professor Afolabi representing the Honorable Minister for Environment. It was at the instance of Honorable Kennedy that Abuja took notice of what has been going on, not necessarily through the complaints we made to the NMPC. So he made several visits to us, and he brought a team at first. They went there. Last week they also went around to see some samples taken from there with the team from PEPA, from Ministry of Environment. So this week they raised the delegation from Abuja, and they are visiting here to see this among other problems that they are seeing. We've been there, and they have taken the sample of the well in Ballet's house, and it's the only place that has told the whole story. So, but we just figured that it is essential that we pay you a visit there, so at least we know something is happening on this matter from the federal government side.
Just a question, please.
Thank you.
I understand you've taken the government to court.
Yeah.
When you talk of government, which is the government? NMPC. So,
you know why?
Yes.
It's not the financial remunerations.
Because we are part of government, that's why I asked that question.
The reason why we had to take that step is that since 1995, the problem had been there. Let us even assume that the previous governments have been inactive about it. We've been active about it since the last 6 months. And save for just coming to look, they've never done anything. And the problem is not abated yet. Look, it will take 10 years or more to correct the damages that have been done. The aquifer is lost. You know, all these things are taken from 90 feet underground, 90 feet. So you can know what has happened to the water level, the aquifer, then the microbes, the soil microbes in there, the farmlands, the trees, the fauna, the flora, everything. That's on the physical side. On medical side, you have people with rashes, sore throats, cancer maybe, later in life.
Seasonal diarrhea.
Diarrhea. That's on the health aspect. On the safety aspect, if fire goes into that well, it will be like when US bombed Iraq. I'm serious. This is 97% octane. I used to be in the oil industry before. That's why I know all the hazards accompanying this. So that's the third one. Now on physical degradation of the area, all the landlords have got their buildings depreciated because nobody wants to live there. The schools there don't have water. The Niger Bridge that is there
spends 10,000 every week to get water for the children. Then the tenants too are evacuating the area. So the sum total of these losses are quite horrendous. But it's not the money. Abate it first. What has happened to my layman's mind is that either through the joints or a broken area. If you look at this map, we'll tell you, you see the pipeline, the area where the pipeline went through Alimosho to Ejigwe. And those lands, those villages have been in existence long before. The NNPC pipes were laid around 1988. Exactly. So, they should have bypassed the place, but there we are. So, it will take a long time before the effects can be totally erased. So these are what you're saying. And I thank you very much. I thank you also. I thank my colleagues here and my brother chairman, for getting concerned enough, and all the other officers too, enough to be able to come and pay us a visit and see things for yourself. Thank you.
We also want to stop over at Solu to see what the state government is doing.
We'll be there with you.
So, well, we bring the greetings of the Minister of Environment, Ambassador Dr. Azan Adamu, Wakili Adamawa. He has shown very great concern, and that's why he has set up the ministerial visitation. Yes, it has always been visit. This time around, take it that this is the beginning of the solution to the problem. The federal government does not want a repeat of Jesse, neither does he want a repeat of Gekuda Mosini somewhere in Abia State. And we know that he wants abatement first. We are also concerned that we should be provided with services. Life must continue there. People must not migrate from the area. So all this will be played into perspective. All this will be taken together. And like I said, this is the beginning of the solution. We will take this message we have come to see. We will take the message back.
But I told people that, look, because we have to supply water to the supplying the areas, all the time. So I said, look, I cannot continue to hear this because I didn't come to say I was going to give you water. So, if they're able to abate first, then we can talk about other things. And we use this opportunity to thank you again and also request that perhaps under the ecological fund, something can be sent to us as quickly as possible to at least push the effects of our expenses.
We have been discussing this informally, but let me also say it here that the ecological fund has a procedure, that's a process. You have to own your project. If it's your priority, through the state government, you identify it as a priority project, the Minister of Environment will support it, and the project is done.
How do we own the project?
You own the project by initiating the project yourself. It's the project you want. It cannot come from above. It is a priority project to you. You play this into the state government project, and it sticks out as a state government project in ecological fund. The environment now looks at it and say, look, this is a project that is of high environmental importance.
This year is done, we do it next year.
As a matter of fact,
I am already working.
Oh, good.
No, it's not done.
We're already working on it. And there are other sources of funds too that we can also be looking at. But be rest assured, this year something is going to be done on this matter.
I know I have
solid waste here.
All the heaps of rubbish that smell. There are tons and tons and tons of garbage. Right?
Shopping It appears there's going to be a road around it.
Make for easy access.
We've not got there.
House of Representatives at
Federal Minister for Environment in Abuja, Professor Afolabiloli, and a number of others. Now, one to wade into this program, even láti ọ̀hún lórí wípé iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe ń bì effect on the marine environment kì í ṣe bí náà ti máa fílẹ̀ but in some other places. And àti make attempt láti jẹ́ kí ẹni tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ kó understand ẹ̀ wọ́n ti serve any notice láti agency wa. He has not abated. Àfẹ́ kò tí ìdáṣẹ́ dúró ìdáṣẹ́ dúró torí pé kò ìdáṣẹ́ dúró yẹn a fẹ́ raise or ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ wípé tí disaster bá dé iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe yìí òun náà ló máa fà á consequence ẹ̀ àwọn náà máa bí ẹ̀ because a máa ń like fire brigade approach nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wa ó dìgbà tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ká tó mọ̀ pé fága ó dẹ̀ ká ti ṣe báyìí o.
lọ ní ìsìn a mọ̀ pé nǹkan kan dáadáa ṣì máa wò lọ́jọ́ iwájú gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n plan láti ṣe tí wọ́n bá fi ìlẹ̀ tán.
nǹkan tó sọ fún mi kí làwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n plan mọ́.
ṣé láti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nǹkan tó plan nìkan.
kí ni mélòó nínú ẹ̀ náà sọ fún yín.
pàápàá wọ́n fẹ́ kọ́ àwọn ilé ìtura tàbí àwọn kan tó ń ṣe é sí bí hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì kan kọ́ sí.
ǹjẹ́ a fẹ́ mú
ọkọ̀ tó ìjọba ìlédì.
gẹ́gẹ́ bí nǹkan tó ń sọ wọ́n ti gba àwọn ìwé tó yẹ kọ́ gbà.
níbo ni wọ́n ti gba ìwé yẹn torí tí wọ́n sọ fáwa ní pé láti federal láti Abuja ni wọ́n ti gbàwé Lagos State dẹ̀ láwa yìí. àwọn lọ gba ìwé láti Abuja láti ṣiṣẹ́ ní Lagos State ń bí.
Lagos State ló dẹ̀ lómi yẹn gẹ́gẹ́ bí òfin ìdájọ́ ẹjọ́ tí wọ́n ti dá.
gẹ́gẹ́ bí òfin tó wà ńlẹ̀ ìyẹn kìíní ìkejì wọ́n fẹ́ kó tẹ̀ síbí wọ́n fẹ́ kó tẹ̀ sọ̀hún. ṣẹ́rí ìtọ́ sọ fún yín yẹn àsọdùn ọ̀rọ̀ ni.
wọ́n fẹ́ máa ta yẹ̀pẹ̀.
iṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ ṣe yẹ̀pẹ̀ ló ń tà ń bì ìyẹn láti start with.
láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ á máa ta yẹ̀pẹ̀ náà.
wọ́n á kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ta yẹ̀pẹ̀ náà láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ consequence yẹ̀pẹ̀ tó ń dredge tó ń ta yẹn ìjọ tí omi bá ya níbì kan ara ohun tó ń fa rè.
ẹ̀ṣẹ́ àmọ́ tó kú.
ara ohun tó ń fa rè.
nǹkan tó ń fa rè.
tẹ̀lé òfin pẹ̀lú òfin báyìí. Kúrò àfẹ́ ìjọ iwájú ìṣe kówó náà la tún máa ná láti padà síbi tó yẹ ká wà. Bàbá wo bá bìtì lénìí oyè tó máa gbàgbára Nàìjíríà ọ̀pá òyìnbó lókùtà gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ jọ́ tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ bí eré la pè àkóyàn wa wọ́n ṣe kíní òkúta sí àárín orí ẹ̀ lọ.